This weekend's Republican Jewish Coalition Conference turning into a who's who of the potential presidential field, opening the door to other options besides former President Donald Trump.
We as Republicans and our elected leaders must do more than criticize and complain.
Trump's former running mate adding to the rumors he may run as his ex-boss addressed the conference live on video, making the pitch for another term.
So we'll be able to do some tremendous things, really tremendous things.
The event comes just days after the former president announced his third bid for the White House.
America's comeback starts right now.
Now he's facing criticism from a slew of potential challengers.
I say 3 strikes and you're out. The reason we're losing is because Donald Trump has put himself before everybody else.
Some of Trump's potential competition served in his administration, like his former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, and his former ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, both making clear the gloves are off.
This loyalty, this work that we must do together is not to a person.
But I've never lost an election, and I'm not going to start now.
One of them may face off against President Joe Biden, who is weighing another bid of his own. Today at the turkey pardon, the president roasting Republicans for their midterm performance.
The only red wave this season is going to be a German Shepherd commander who knocks over the cranberry sauce on our table.
And no other candidate seems to be capturing Republican voters' attention more than Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. A new Harvard Caps Harris poll, first published by The Hill, shows DeSantis' support among Republican voters up to 28%. That's an 11-point increase over the past month. And that poll, taken just a week after the midterms, shows DeSantis leading the GOP pack to take on Trump. Nichole?
All right, Kelly, thank you for that. Well, there's a lot of speculation on who will throw their hat into the ring and when. So joining us now, Bob Cusack, editor-in-chief with our partners at The Hill. Bob, thank you for being here. In your estimation, what is really the biggest takeaway from the conference this weekend?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that Republicans, voters are looking for other alternatives other than the former president. And it's going to be a crowded field. I mean, you have, as you and Kelly were talking about, a lot of former Trump people, Trump allies who are getting into this race, including, I think, what is likely going to happen, the former vice president getting in. And that is unprecedented, and it's going to be a fascinating primary.
And Bob, a lot of former Trump allies, potentially getting into the race. A lot of those same allies now trying to distance themselves from the former president. How unique is that to see a former president, in some cases, blasted by members of his own party, considering he actually held the office at one point?
Oh, it's highly unusual. Even when he was a lame duck president, John McCain was running in 2008 and had been critical of George W. Bush in the past, really did not go after the sitting president at that time. And I think it cost him. And then, of course, Barack Obama was easily elected. So this is highly unusual. And in the era of Trump, throw out the traditional rules.
And we certainly know, Trump has come from behind, has been underestimated in the past. But could so many others potentially jumping into this race actually bode well for him?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Nichole. I think so. I mean, remember 2016, there were a lot of people who were running on the Republican side, so many that they couldn't get them all on one stage. So that, will we get that many? Maybe not. But at the same time, Trump's hardcore has 20 to 25%, and that's how he really rode to victory. He didn't need 50 or 60% when you have such a big field. That definitely does help him. So even though he's criticizing people who are thinking about getting in, especially the ones who used to work for him, and suggesting they're not being loyal, it's actually a good thing politically for Trump to have a bigger field.
And last question for you, Bob. Right now, there's a lot of speculation, a lot about, maybe they will, maybe they won't. How soon do you think it will be until we see another candidate officially throwing their hat into the ring?
Oh, as far as major candidates, it's not going to be until the new year. You've got the holidays here. And remember, when he first got in, it was in the summer. So he is 6 to 7 months early than most people getting in. And you have to fundraise. You've got to have a lot of time to spend money, too. So I think you're going to see spring or summer of the new year before you see major candidates joining Trump.
All right, so we will not expect any major announcements for the remainder of 2022. Okay, Bob, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.